Good morning. Let me say that again. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. What a good-looking crowd this is. I just want to say welcome to the 29th Annual Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I want to say a special welcome to all of our special guests for our 2025 induction class, as well as all of our high school GRIT recipients and everybody's friends and family. So welcome on behalf of the board. I'm Leo Berard, and I can't thank you enough for everybody that came and to help participate in such a wonderful day to recommend or celebrate so many folks in our community from our past as well as our future. And so with that, a little bit about the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. 1995, a group of men came together and said that they wanted to recognize those individuals in our community that meant so much from an athletic standpoint, be it an athlete, a coach, or a contributor. And in 1996, started the first class of the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. To date, we've inducted 155 new inductees, and we've got 6 more for this class in 2025. And all 155 and our next 6 are, everything's housed in the Civic Center. We've just gone through, in the process of doing a year-long clean out to make sure that we have enough space for the future of the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. So I encourage everybody to go to the Civic Center and see all the past of such great and wonderful people that meant so much to this community. In 2022, we expanded as a board. We got together and said, there was a need. We were trying, a few years before that, the all by city went away. And so we talked about it as a board and said, there's really no one championing the old all by city that recognizes every single sport for every single high school in the Chattahoochee Valley area. So we decided to sponsor it, the All Chattahoochee Valley. And so we started that in 2022, and we continue to do this, as well as we initiated the GRIT, which stands for Growth, Resilience, Initiative, and Teamwork. And that's what we do at the induction banquet. And that represents, the best male, female from each school. Not, doesn't matter what sport you do, just who represents the school the best in terms of everything that they represent to their student body. And with that, I will say, there's a ton of work that goes into this 2-hour or hour-and-a-half presentation. And I just want to recognize the board because we work really hard. It's a completely volunteer organization that puts all this on. And so I want to really quick recognize all our board members: Pam Carter, Mark Clark, Gary Clegg, Jimbo Davis, Kathy Gear, Blair Harrison, Chuck Hecht, Dave Plata, Mark Rice, Dickie Saunders, Mary Sherman, Jay Sparks, and Dorinda Weaver. So if everybody just kind of give them a round of applause. And there are some groups that we can't do it, so we raise money to help offset some of these costs. So a couple things. We do want to thank the Houston Clinic. So they sponsor for the fall, winter, and spring sports. They are our primary sponsor for the All Chattahoochee Valley team. So we could not pull all that off without their help. I will say there's one individual that really helps us with the All Chattahoochee Valley team, and that's Jeff Battles. Jeff is the Muskogee County Athletic Director. When it comes to pulling all that together and getting all the coaches together 3 times a year for each sport, he champions that, calls all the other athletic directors, and really gets that going. So on behalf of the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame, I really want to thank Jeff Battles for all his hard work. If everybody just give him a round of applause. Then we've had some, we have our annual golf tournament. So I do want to recognize all our sponsors that help sponsor holes, sponsor teams, and provide sponsorship for us to have a great day at Maple Ridge. And so with that, I want to turn this over to the Master of Ceremony. He is 40 years the play-by-play for CSU, and really the play-by-play of our guy for our community, the voice of our community when it comes to sports. And 2018 Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame inductee Scott Miller.
Thank you, Leo. Welcome, everyone. Glad you're here. We're going to get started with the first award. When I first saw this award, Grit, I got excited. I thought it was grits. But I'm even more excited now to find out what it actually means. So we're going to line the young student athletes up here. And Debbie Ball, Hall of Fame Class 2005, Coach Extraordinaire, will hand out the awards. From Brookstone, Emma Mathis. From Brookstone, Jackson James. I got to say, I was feeling pretty good about my wardrobe today until Jackson showed up. Thanks for nothing, Jackson. Jeez. From Calvary, Izzy Fussell. Also from Calvary, Nathaniel Trey Cutter. From Carver, Braylon Jakes. From Columbus, Gabriella Ware. Also from Columbus, Andrew Smith IV. With his fan club. From Glenwood, Clara Crisco. Also from Glenwood, Carter Ross. From Hardaway, Janiyah Hardy. Also from Hardaway, Skylar Simpkins. From Harris County, Julie Payne. From Kendrick, Robin Mitchell. Also from Kendrick, Moses Mena. From Northside, Hannah Baca. Also from Northside, Blaze Barber. From Russell County, Annalicia Santana. From Russell County, Adrian Wiley. From Shaw, make sure I've got the right one here, Elijah Salter. All right. I was just checking to see if you were really awake, Elijah. From Shaw, Natalie Reyes. From Spencer, Jonathan Willis. And from St. Anne Pacelli, Dustin Sherman. Once again, a round of applause for our Grit Award winners. All right, thank you, guys. Our first inductee, the conductor of that train. All right, our first inductee in the class of 2025. Let me tell you about Tipton Tippo Wiley Petty. Sports in Columbus looked very different in the early 1900s. Tippo Petty was there from the very beginning. The very first football game played in 1908 featured Columbus High student Petty. In the first game of the historic Columbus-Jordan rivalry, Petty scored the only touchdown of the game. He became a member of the Columbus YMCA at the age of 13 when it opened in 1903. He was an outstanding player for the University School for Boys in Atlanta in basketball, baseball, and football. He was captain of the basketball team, won all-state honors in football, played shortstop on a baseball team that defeated Auburn 7-0 when the Tigers were considered the cream of college baseball. After graduation, Petty joined the Columbus YMCA basketball team, which had gained widespread fame across the Southeast, playing games in Florida, Alabama, Louisiana, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, and Indiana. Tippo led the Columbus YMCA to the Southern Championship with a 19-0 record in 1909-1910, scoring 389 points to lead the team. Their closest game was a 34-29 victory over Vanderbilt, and the team opened the season with a 72-2 win over the Americas YMCA. Petty became the physical education director of the Y and later was its oldest member. He served as physical education instructor until the late 1940s and remained active in the YMCA until his death in 1957. It is our pleasure today to induct Tipton Tippo Wiley Petty into the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. And accepting for the family is Janet O'Neill. For our next inductee, if you'll direct your attention to the video screens.
Jim Creek coached the Jordan High Lady Red Jackets for 19 years, piling up 377 wins and only 96 losses. These numbers, though, may not be the most impressive achievement Jim can boast. In the 1980s, girls basketball took a backseat to the boys until Jim and other pioneers pushed it to the forefront. Key to this emergence were Jordan's Twin Towers, which gave the Jackets a huge edge in rebounding. Jim's talented, relentless squads worked hard and competed at the highest level year after year. While the girls were historically a sparsely attended undercard for the boys' game to follow, with the emergence of the Jordan-Columbus High rivalry, fans arrived early to see the girls compete. As interest grew and rivalries developed, so did the popularity of girls basketball. Jim's squads not only took home a lot of hardware locally, but competed well in the region and even the state tournaments. The Lady Red Jackets reached the state tournament 8 times and reached the finals in 1986 and 1988. Jim also coached a variety of sports, including football, soccer, golf, and others. After his tenure at Jordan, Jim coached at Central and Smith Station, plus youth soccer. Tonight, Jim adds another trophy to his many previous honors. He is now a Hall of Famer.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our newest Hall of Famer, James Jim Creek.
I have so much I want to say. They told me to be brief, so it's hard to be brief. I'd like to thank Chuck Heck for nominating me for this honor. I'd like to thank the members of the committee for selecting me. I have my wife over here who will be married 56 years this coming June, and she's been a support for me all those years of coaching, 34 years of high school coaching and 3 years of coaching in the armed services. I have my daughter Courtney and my son Carson, and my grandchildren, Evan, Wesley, Olive, and Kylan. My children were born one was born during football season, the other was born during basketball season. And as a result, and my son reminded me the other day that, Dad, you were coaching everything, so whenever we were born in a season. But I guess because they're coaches' kids, they themselves have become dynamic coaches, community coaches, to carry on the tradition. I came to Jordan in 1975 after getting out of the Army. School had already started, and so I wanted to coach, but I got there 8 weeks into the school season, and those coaches were already assigned. So I worked with the girls' basketball team. Coach Ginger Starling was coaching of the girls, and she had played high school ball under the old 3 forwards, 3 guards rules, and she just had a hard time grasping the new rules of 5-on-5. So I helped her. The next year I got a job as a JV boys basketball coach, but I continued to work with the girls' basketball team. The girls would practice first, and then the JV boys, and then the varsity boys, and so forth. And so I did this for 3 years. My 3rd year, Mr. Screws called me in the office and said, Ginger's gone to Shaw High School, the new high school in town, to teach Spanish, and we don't have a girls' basketball coach. Would you be an interim coach until we can hire someone to fill the spot? I said, okay, fine. The next year I come into school and, Ms. Cruz, did we hire someone for the girls' basketball? Well, we hired a new coach. He's going to take your place as the boys' JV coach, and you'll just continue to be the interim coach till I find someone. So I was the interim girls' basketball coach for 19 years. When I took the job, I told the principal, we're going to change the name. I think one of the greatest things that I did for Columbus female sports is that we don't want to be the girls' basketball team. To me, girls are elementary school, maybe even middle school. These are young women getting ready to graduate from high school and go out into the world. They're young women. Young women's basketball team would not sound right, so we adapted the term Lady Red Jackets. And we were the Lady Red Jackets from the beginning. And sports writers began writing the Lady Red Jackets defeated so-and-so girls team, Lady Red Jackets, and then it got to the point, well, no, the Lady Red Jackets defeated, and the sports writers add Lady Green Wave, the Lady Hawks, even those teams weren't called that. Well, now all the female sports teams throughout the city and throughout the area are known as the Lady Hawks, the Lady Cherokees, Lady whatever. That was started by Jordan High School. Seating behind my table, I have 2 tables of former ball players who played for me. And I just want you ladies to know that your hard work, your commitment, your dedication to winning is the reason why I'm up here. I think that all of you deserve a piece of this award. Thank you for what you did to put me here. First 6 years that I coached, Jordan was in a sub-region. We went to the region finals 3 times. The next 13 years, we were our own region, and we went to the state playoffs 8 times. So in 19 years of coaching, Jordan moved from the out of Columbus to the next level of play 11 times in 19 years. I don't think that's not a bad record. Over the 13 years that we were a region 4A. There was no 5A, no 6A. So Jordan, with a population of 1,230 students, were playing schools with 2,000 plus. It was mentioned on the highlight film that we played for the state championship in 1986 and 1988. We lost to Baldwin County High School both times. Tree played 1 year, Sand the next year. There were the seniors. Their graduating class had 238. We met someone from Baldwin County over the Christmas holidays and asked him how big the school was. He didn't know how many was at his school, but his graduating class had over 400. So you think of 200 in Tawana's graduating class and 400 in the graduating class that she's playing against. You can see how we were playing against the bigger schools. I'm happy to say that I was happy to see Sterling Hicks and Kendrick girls finally bring a state championship home to Columbus. Carver's won 1, Columbus has won 1, and just this past year, Hardaway girls state championship. Difference between their teams and my team that played for sub-region or state runner-up, Carver was state champion in a 2A ball. We're a 2A school. Jordan this year has moved up from 2A to 3A. If we've been able to play at the 2A and 3A level when I was coaching, who knows how much more awards we were brought to Jordan High School. But in the 13 years that we were a region, As already mentioned, went to state playoffs 8 times. I had 10 20-game win seasons or more. The Christmas tournament is a big thing here in Columbus. The Lady Red Jackets played in the Christmas tournament finals 15 times in the 19 years that I coached. I don't think any team in town can say, other than Central Boys, can say how many times they played in the finals. Played in the finals 15 times, winning it 8 times. I was Coach of the Year 7 times, Bi-City Coach of the Year. What's funny is that the 2 years we played for the state championship, I was not Coach of the Year. But Coach of the Year 7 other times. The region championships, just everything, all the hard work. We had in the dressing room or the locker room, Coach Maynard built a cubby on wheels where the players could put their shoes and uniforms in and all. And the later years, the players come there and notice there's pictures all around the wall. Coach, when you put our picture up? And I said, well, you put a trophy in the trophy case, we'll put a picture up. Well, why is this picture bigger than that trophy? Well, that's a first place team, and this is a second place team, so you got a bigger picture. And why is that picture even bigger? Well, that was the region championship team. So that gave the kids motivation to, hey, we want our pictures on the wall, so they started playing harder. So they're there, they played hard, and their hard play has carried over to their life skills. There's one here that's just a retired Army colonel who's just completed her PhD in educational psychology. I got another one who travels throughout the Southeast making talks on women's issues. I have 2 retired military people over here. So they have all strived to do well since they left Jordan High School. I'm just glad they let me be a part of their lives. I never won a state championship in anything. Oh, when I had this. I went to you talked about basketball. We took the girls' soccer team to the state playoffs in 97, 98 at Jordan High School. I retired from Georgia school system, went across the river to Smith Station, started a soccer program there. In the 3rd year of their program, we took the girls to the state playoffs, and they went to state playoffs 3 times. In the 4th year, we took the boys to the state playoffs, and I got 2 members of the boys team that went to state playoffs here from Smith Station. And like the players at Jordan, I just feel like I coached winners. They're sitting over there at these tables. They're all winners. And tonight, even though I've never won a state championship, this award makes me feel like I'm in their class with them. I'm also a winner. Thank you very much.
Once again, a big hand for Hall of Famer Jim Creek. For our next inductee, please again direct your attention to the video screens.
Glenwood baseball coach and athletic director Tim Fanning boasts impressive numbers in his professional life, but Tim's life is far more about people and perseverance than facts and figures. The numbers are dazzling. Glenwood won 10 state championships on the diamond. During his tenure as athletic director, the Gators earned 46 titles in 8 different sports. He was named Coach of the Year many times from several different publications. Tim has battled a formidable opponent off the field for nearly 5 years. Stage 4 colon cancer has been a very tough adversary. But Tim hasn't stopped trying to make this world a better place by helping the less fortunate. Tim founded and leads a nonprofit called Serve to Lead. He's traveled all over the world with his mission conducted through baseball and Christ. His goal is to inspire young and old alike to put others ahead of themselves, which will give their lives a better purpose and empower others at the same time. Tim's wife and 2 daughters join him in his mission. They fight several battles alongside him every day. Tim is a winner, no matter how you define the word.
Please welcome our newest Hall of Famer, Tim Fanning.
So before I get started, I think there's a parlay going with my former players of how fast I'll cry under how much time. So I can't guarantee that's not going to happen. But first of all, I'd like to start by thanking the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame for this unbelievable honor. To even be in the same room with all these mentioned inductees is truly humbling to me. I'd like to thank the entire Glenwood family for supporting me and giving me the opportunity to do what I love every day. This would not be possible without great administrators, teachers, parents, assistant coaches, and of course, amazing student athletes I get to coach every day. I also want to thank my family for being here today and sharing this with me. My mom, she still comes to my games just like she's watching me in Little League all the time, sleeping sometimes like this. But nevertheless, there every time. My beautiful daughters, amazing young women. I love you very much. My amazing wife, I don't count, does not count. Renee, this is as much your award, is it? That one counts, sorry. This is as much as an award for you as it is for me. When you work 60 or 70 hours a week, if your partner in crime is not all in, there's no way you can give what is necessary to this job. It doesn't hurt when you come home complaining about practice or a game and she tells you to stop whining and fix it. She don't want to hear about it. Go fix it. I think we all need a kick in the pants sometimes, and I thank you for that. As I'm sure all the inductees will tell you, without our family support, we would not be standing here before you. Honestly, I can't even begin to tell you the list of people in this community that have done so much for me. My Little League coach, Gary Rozeski, Butch Sanford at the Boys Club, my coaches and teachers at Jordan, an entire army of selfless people over the years from church and teammates' families that always seem to find a way to take care of me and my family. But here's the thing, as you get older and you finally start to realize these things aren't luck. They're not happenstance. They're no coincidences. These things don't just happen. All these people were put into my life for a reason. God has always surrounded me with amazing people. Just because I didn't have a father around, or we were on welfare, or we couldn't pay the bills, or we didn't have money to register for sports, it didn't matter because God showed grace at every turn by surrounding me with these people. I didn't just happen to go to Middle Georgia to play baseball. That's where I met my wife. I didn't just happen to go to Marshall University after JUCO to play baseball. I ended up building a relationship with someone I traveled all over the world and did mission work with. I didn't just happen to do special events with the Bradley Company, where I traveled to Japan and Winter Olympics and France World Cup and even got to run the Olympic torch. And of course, over 25 years ago, God opened a door for me that allowed me to be around some of the best coaches in state history. Not because they were Hall of Famers on the field, but because they were Hall of Famers off the field. Wayne Trawick and Doug Key taught me the definition of selflessness, how to treat people, and showed me how to be humble in victory as well as defeat. Being around them on a daily basis helped shape my coaching philosophy and allow me to prioritize what was really important. A lot of coaches become so consumed with winning they forget what our true purpose is, and that's serving others. Ultimately, it's never been about winning for me. It's about helping young men become better husbands, fathers, and leaders in this community. It's about the way we carry ourselves, being accountable, being the best teammates we can be, and serving something bigger than ourselves. It was never more evident to me that God placed me at Glenwood for a reason in 2019. Now, I don't know if I'll make it through this, but when I was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, this community wrapped their arms around me and my family. And it was some very dark times. I can honestly say no matter how bad it got, I was always uplifted when I walked on that campus. I drew strength from it. It comforted me, it inspired me, and it pushed me. Billy Graham was quoted as saying, "One coach or teacher will impact more young people in a year than the average person does in a lifetime." Well, that may be true, but I can tell you this. The impact our players, parents, coaches, and teachers have had on me will last me for the rest of my days. I always feel so undeserving of the grace God shows me on a daily basis. But trust me when I tell you, everyone sitting in this room, and especially you young people that are here, that aren't as long in the tooth as some of us may be, God has a plan for your life. Trust Him. He'll take you places you've never dreamed of going. God bless, and go Gators. Thank you.
Once again, a big round of applause for Hall of Famer Tim Fanning. For our next inductee, again, please direct your attention to the video screens.
Gary Ingram is a former Major League Baseball player, a husband, a dad, and a grandpa. He's a Columbus High graduate who took an unusual path after his playing days were over. Gary was a coach for 25 years. This different perspective of the game took him to the Dodgers, Giants, Phillies, White Sox, and the Braves. Helping young players develop and watching their success brought him great fulfillment and joy. Gary's fond baseball memories include breaking the good news that a player was moving up a rung on the baseball ladder, some all the way to the big leagues. Gary made his major league debut in a dramatic way on May 20th, 1994. He homered against the Colorado Rockies at his first at-bat, only the second Los Angeles Dodger to do so. 2 weeks later, the Dodgers came to Atlanta to take on the Braves. Gary had 25 friends and family members in town and responded with a big night, going 2 for 3 with a walk and scoring twice. Here's some baseball trivia about Gary. He played 2 years at Columbus High with future Hall of Famer Frank Thomas. Also, his nickname was Chicken. A college teammate called him Blue Chicken. Gary wasn't thrilled with the blue part, but the shortened nickname stuck. Today, Gary can be called a Hall of Famer.
Please welcome our newest Hall of Famer, Gary Ingram.
If I pass out, don't worry, okay? We're just gonna have a conversation. Tim, I appreciate that story, man. I'm gonna start with thanking the Chattahoochee Valley Hall of Fame for inducting me on this day. I had no idea this was gonna happen, but I'm glad it did because I myself carry myself as a role model for young boys that aspire to be a baseball player one day. But I want to give out a few thank yous. I'm going to be short and brief because I'm a man of not so many words because I don't want Jimbo coming down on me later. I got to thank God, first of all, for giving me the abilities that I had to be able to play Major League Baseball. I got to thank my parents, my mom, my dad, my 2 brothers right here. My wife, got to thank her because she allowed me to go fishing whenever I get ready. And my friends, Dr. Jones, Coach Howard, my buddy Freddie Blackman, and I'm gonna give y'all a nickname for my uncle. He's gonna be mad at me, but I don't care. His name is Boogie Henry. I gotta thank him too, because what he don't know is all those years when he was playing for Coach Howard at Kendrick High School, I was always trying to be like him. I know he had an opportunity possibly to get drafted by the Pirates back in the day until he sustained an injury. Is that correct, Unc? But I was always trying to pattern myself after him, and he never knew that. But one thing I will say is I would not have made this journey without certain memories that I still have. The memories started at Oakland Park at Rigdon Park. 9 years old, snotty-nosed kid that got traded to a Little League team, and my coach was Dan Pate. That's where it all started at 9, and that transitioned over to East Columbus Babe Ruth, Coach Wilkerson. That translated over to Columbus High School, where I was able to get tutelage from the great Bobby Howard, as we all know. And I would say Coach Howard was the one that actually instilled the proper discipline for me to be able to get ready for this journey that I went on. And also, I got to give Coach Sapp at Middle Georgia Junior College some credit as well. And another thing that I will say is having those memories, you always going to have some type of support system. As Tim alluded to, you will be amazed at how many people are supporting you. You will be amazed whether they're instrumental or whether they're hands-on. And I was able to have numerous support, numerous calls, interactions with certain people that guided me in my life to this point where I'm getting to. And there were ups and downs during that time. But if you have a great support system, you can get through anything. And I do really appreciate people like the Dr. Joneses, who's very instrumental in keeping me focused and being instrumental in that part. And like I said, I'm a man of few words. I'm still sitting here pinching myself, wondering why they chose me. But I have to go through the rest of my life thanking Jimbo and this board for just allowing me to be on this stage with everybody else. And I'm gonna end with this. Failure is what makes you, as an athlete and person, failure makes you learn and grow. And that's what I've been able to do during my time. Thank you.
One more time, a big round of applause for Hall of Famer Gary Ingram. By the way, if you have not heard the story of have heard him tell the story of his first major league at bat, get him to tell you. He's not a man of few words when he's talking about that first major league at bat. Fantastic. For our next inductee, please direct your attention to the video screens.
Adam Thomas has spent his entire adult life at Chattahoochee Valley Community College. His responsibilities and titles change, but he's always been a Pirate. Adam began as a baseball player for CVCC, then became an assistant coach, head coach, and athletic director. His duties varied, but at the heart of his tenure were his players. His influence and guidance extended far beyond the diamond. Adam had his hand in academic advising, the athletic department's 7-figure budget, and assuring that his players stayed eligible, just to name a few responsibilities. The Pirates' success on the field is easily measured. Adam's teams won 4 Region 22 region championships and appeared in the National Junior College Athletic Association World Series 4 times. His professional career at CVCC began in June of 1998 and continues today. Adam takes great pride in the success of his players. Over 200 signed scholarships to play for 4-year institutions. 27 signed Major League Baseball contracts or became free agents. 2 CVC alumni made it to the big leagues. Adam took a very difficult step in 2018, stepping down as head baseball coach. Health reasons put him on the bench. But Adam Thomas remains athletic director, still keeping an eye on his beloved players, just as it should be.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our newest Hall of Famer, Adam Thomas.
You know, I'm like the people that came before me. You don't hardly believe this is happening. You can't believe it's happening to you. You know, so when Jimbo called, I wasn't real sure. So I started looking around and at who had been elected and selected and honored, past and present, and saw my buddy Tim getting elected. So it was either one big joke or it was legit. But no, we're both getting in this together, buddy, and I'm so excited to do that. I've known Timmy since the Darnell days when we were 16, 17 years old, him pitching and I catching. And what a day it is for us to be in here together. Want to acknowledge the committee, of course. Again, I'm just speechless that you found me worthy enough to be in your Hall of Fame. And this is something that I am honored and humbled with, and will take this to my grave as something that I am extremely proud of. My family here, we travel in big pack. For those that know us, when one of us is doing something, we're all there. But I've got my in-laws, my sisters, my nieces and nephews, and of course my parents, my son, and of course my wife. That are there to support me, as you saw in a lot of those pictures up there. Congratulations, inductees. I'm very happy and very proud of you guys as well. Even the ones that I don't know, it doesn't matter. You know, you guys have some kind of background and are well deserved. I kind of come from humble beginnings as a coach. You know, God gave me just enough talent to play 4 years of college baseball. And I'm thankful for that, because my calling wasn't as a player, it was as a coach. And I found that out 25 years later. You know, I was 22 years old when I got this job. I was coaching 21-year-olds. So that was that was kind of a shell shock for me. So, but at the same time, I had it figured out, of course. At 22, I had it all figured out until we went 14-40 that year. But nonetheless, you know, time goes by, and what I was trying to do, I was trying to be Coach Johnson, who was my junior college coach. Then I tried to be my dad. Then I tried to be Bear Bryant. Then I tried to be Nick Saban. You know, I'm trying to be all these people, and you know, finally my dad pulls me aside. And we were talking about this not too long ago, that he goes, "Hey man, why don't you try being yourself?" And once I kind of sat on that for a little while and realized that Adam Thomas was good enough, well, we started winning championships. We started putting people in the draft. We started putting people into four-year schools. We started doing a lot of good things once I realized that Adam Thomas was good enough. That's the best thing about that was the relations that were built along the way. Yeah, Timmy, that crying gene, you left a little bit of that crying juice up here, buddy. But anyway, figuring it out, as I got older. And being with those players and winning those games was something special. But I'm going to tell you something. I won a lot of games. I won over 750 games in junior college baseball. And not to mention 2 years at my great place, Pacelli. They got a couple along the way. And all-time winningest coach at Chattahoochee Valley. Was the winningest coach in the Alabama Community College Conference during my tenure at Chattahoochee Valley. Bottom line, I learned how to win. But one thing that I trade all those wins for, and fortunately I don't have to do that because are the relationships that I made with my players. They're my trophies. They're my trophies. They're what I do this for. I'd give it all away to know I get to have all those relationships, all those wedding invites, all those baby cards, or I don't know, you call it a baby card. Announcement. There we go. Thank you. Baby announcement. All those things. You can't get those back. So I'm very thankful for that. Chattahoochee Valley has meant a whole lot to me. Pacelli's meant a whole lot to me. It's more than just a place. It becomes a part of you. It's a culture, and it's a culture that's been established very strongly. And I'm so thankful for that. But without further ado, we'll go on to our next inductee. And I'm just so thankful again for everybody that's been a part of my life as a baseball coach and as a man. I hope that I've made you proud as a baseball coach and as a man. All right, thanks.
One more time, a big round of applause for Hall of Famer Adam Thomas. Again, if I can ask you to direct your attention to the video screen.
Standing over 6 feet tall, Tawana Williams was nicknamed Tree in her early basketball career. Later, she stood out for many more qualities than her height. Tawana was one of Coach Jim Creek's Twin Towers during the early 80s when girls basketball was coming of age in Columbus. She was in the spotlight as she scored, blocked shots, mentored younger teammates, and generally did whatever needed to be done. During her 4 years at Jordan Vocational High School, her team lost a total of 7 games in 4 years. During her tenure, girls basketball made its way to the front page of the sports section, and fans embraced the Lady Red Jackets and their fierce rivalry with Columbus High. After high school, Tawana stepped into the spotlight at Albany State. She holds many records there and has the distinction of being the first female athlete to have her jersey retired. Tawana was an All-American during all 4 years at ASU. She has been inducted into both Jordan's and Albany State's Halls of Fame. In her post-basketball life, Tawana is very active in her church. She is a special education teacher at Jordan as well as a motivational speaker. Tawana continues to strive for the excellence that began during her days as Tree. Today, she can again be called a Hall of Famer.
Indeed, please welcome our newest Hall of Famer, Tawana Tree Williams.
Wow, I am so excited for this moment in time. First, I would like to give honor to God. It's hitting me now. Who is the head of my life? I'm so grateful. Thank the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame Committee for giving me this beautiful honor. I'm a person of great gratitude for what is happening in my life. I want to thank my family, my children, Takesha and Robert, my husband, Bishop Williams. I thank God for my sister. Thank God for my brother-in-law. Thank God for my dear friend, Vicki Floyd. Thank God for my grandchildren, able to see me, because my granddaughter said, "Grandmama, you don't know how to play no basketball." Serenity and Noah. And I thank God for my family, Tamika and Mally. This moment in time is not just for me. I have seen some people that I have not seen in years, and that my teammates that are here today. I want to thank you all for some great times playing basketball with you. I'm so grateful for the ones that was for me, Jim Creek, the man that I met when I first entered Jordan Vocational High School. He was the person that walked up to me and said, "You got to play basketball because your legs are long." And I said, "Yes, I do." I came from Marshall Junior High School. I was trying to be a cheerleader. And Miss Smith told me, "Tawana, you need to stop coming to try out for cheerleading." I'm a very persistent person. If I set my mind to something, I'm going to do it. But this particular time, Ms. Smith did not allow me to become a cheerleader. So I took her advice and I went and tried out for basketball. And at that time, Coach Ryan, I was Coach Green, they was the coach, they taught me. And within that, I loved the game of basketball. It was a gift given to me by my father. He's no longer on earth. I didn't have to be taught how to play it. I already knew. I already had the talent. I just need to know the rules of the game. I left there and I had great years at Jordan under Jim Creek, a great coach, and we had a good time. No one could really beat us. I have to give a shout out to Columbus High School because we won at Jordan. When we went to that Columbus High School, some kind of way we just couldn't get it. I always tell them they were cheating. But we captivated the city. We did not want to lose. And the tradition, when I left Jordan, I told the teammates, keep the tradition going. As I left Jordan heading to Albany State University, the first man, black man that ever coached me, and I told him that, he said, "I'm gonna be the first man to keep my foot in your behind." He took my game to a new level. I thank God for Coach Creek giving him the goggles. And those goggles, I was not afraid now to really execute. Within that, I was the first woman in history of the school to ever get her jersey retired. The game of basketball I still love. It's my passion. But I thank God for the people that was able to put a paw on my hand and keep pushing me. And to the youth and young adults on today, do not allow your past to make in other words, your rules for your present as you go forth in life. I'm from my hood on Havenbrook Court, where we call it the Boulevard. I know about, amen, the bologna sandwiches and, amen, when mama didn't have money. And I thank God for my mother. She's no longer here. But she always told us, "I want you to be better than me." I wish she was here. I miss my mother. And I want to tell everybody, thank God to be grateful for your parents. I can hear her telling me now, "You go forward, I'm with you in spirit." I want to thank my colleagues from Jordan High School that's here, my church family. And I want to give a shout out to Coach Turner. They gave me a call one day and asked me did I want to come back home. And I'm now at my alma mater teaching the children. I'm in special education. I'm so honored to be amongst these inductees. Tim and Coach Creek, I'm so honored. All of them, I'm so honored. I was good until I started looking at all those pictures, and the moment in time, I said, time has really passed. I'd had a good career of basketball, good healthy career of basketball, and I'm so grateful. I love you all. Continue being who you are. I enjoyed every speech, and I want you all to know the sky's the limit. God bless you.
Once again, Hall of Famer, Tawana Tree Williams. What a fantastic class. And just one more time, let's hear it for the entire class of 2025.
All right. Well, thank you, Scott, for everything that you did. Real quick, what a night, what a morning. I mean, I tell you, all inductees, your stories are so inspiring. I hope all the Grit Award winners, your high school, you can see and draw inspiration from all these community leaders that we have in the room with us. Welcome all our inductees to the new bond that you have with all of our other Hall of Famers. Let's go ahead. Anybody in the Hall of Fame, if you would stand up and we acknowledge you real quick and welcome this inductee class in. All current Hall of Fame. I know some of y'all, there we go. So on behalf of our Hall of Famers, we welcome you into this new class. I would like to recognize Jim and Ann that carried the banner for so long. They were very special to the Chattahoochee Valley Sports Hall of Fame. We're honored that y'all are here with us today. All right, well, I will say I love the synergy of this class. You've got Tawana and Coach Creek going in together. You've got Adam and Tim throwing the ball when they were teenagers. Personally, I grew up with Tim, love him like a brother. I idolized Gary. He would come when I was at a high school with Coach Howard, and Gary would show up and practice with us as he was getting ready for spring ball. And, I mean, he just had a perfect smile, great attitude, such an inspiration to us as high school players. So, Gary, I appreciate you, everything you did for us. And so with that, it's been a beautiful morning. Thank everybody. Grab a paper tomorrow. We'll have a big full-page ad. So grab a paper tomorrow. And with that, everybody safe travels, and thank you. Congratulations.